Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today we have the new Commonwealth Yukon, all right, for a ship. This is, in fact, a King George with Monarch guns. I did get that wrong in the update when it came out. These are Monarch guns on a King George hull. And for those of you guys that don't know, Monarch has different armor, guys. All right, this is even though it is based off of King George armor, this is not a Monarch hull. All right, you can see clearly this is a King George hull. This is not a Monarch hull. For those of you guys saying that, it's King George, guys, with Monarch guns. Now, that being said, guys, we're using Charles King's meal with Pablo D. Ravel in Colorado, getting the reload down. The reload is a little bit higher. His base trait is Father of the Navy, helping your heal. Flammable cannoneer, gyrating drill bits, marksmanship, and foghorn, along with fully packed. Now, I want to explain something here quick. Couple things about this ship. Uh, we're gonna talk about the smokes first because I need to showcase this because people are gonna take that one perk that you're already screaming about in the chat. So, but I want to show why not to take it. Your smoke between your consumable and your dispersion time is only 105 seconds. Not terrible. It's still handy. I'm not saying the smokes aren't handy, but it's 105 seconds. Your reload is almost 3 minutes. So you get a minute and a half of sit and smoke in 3 minutes of waiting on your reload, meaning two-thirds of your time you're not going to be able to be in your smoke, right? The reason we're not taking this Dominion perk is it's not a good one for a few reasons. I it is a good one, but not compared to what's here. All right, and I'll explain this. So Dominion has the detectability time after firing the main guns in the smoke screen, detectability range also in a smoke screen. That's key. And also main battery reload in a smoke screen. And I know a lot of people right now are thinking that's really good, and it's not terrible. However, a few things. You have to get this ship to stop and stay in your smoke screen for that entire time for this to work. Also, this is only a third of your time in the entire match. That 10% reload sounds really good, but why do that when you can just take second thought, which is 5% reload all the time? So that's already better. Plus, you can switch your shells. And the smoke firing penalty on this ship, even if you build into it, is going to be about 10 kilometers. It starts at 11.3. So unless you're playing at the back of the map, which sadly this ship probably will be at the back of the map, this is not worth building into. And please don't play the ship at the back of the map. This ship is tanky. It's a King George. They're tanky. All right. I take the marksmanship. You'll clearly see how that's affected my matches. All right. And I will show you all the matches I've had quickly in this as well. We are taking Foghorn just because there isn't a better option, and same with here. I would rather take Fight Fire with Fire, but honestly, fully packed to get an extra smoke and a heal, or the extra heal is nice. The smoke is not, okay? You can't use 5 smokes. You have 4.5 minutes between using it and reloading it. So you can only use, at most, if you hit a smoke off the start, 4. But if you wait to use your first smoke, you can only use 3 smokes. So taking more than that is not that helpful. All right. Anything more than 3 smokes is not going to help you out. But having extra spotter plane isn't bad. So for our upgrades, we're using aiming systems mod 1, prop mod 2, and concealment mod 3. As always, and I'm glad it has the prop mod because if it didn't, this thing would be terrible. Or for the built-in prop mods, I never care for. 3 insanely good heals. You can heal almost 25,000 health off of them. They're short duration, but I mean, you still heal a lot of health off of them, right? Smoke generators, they have a good consumable like time, and then dispersions a 70. It does get you out of trouble and is handy, but do not sit in these the whole match. You're going to be sorely disappointed, okay? Not only that, you have a tanky ship with really good heals. Do not sit at the back of the map and not help your team out. Also, you're a battleship. You should be taking some heat in this ship. Sitting in your smoke screen is not going to help you. And I hate to say that because that's what makes this ship unique, quote unquote, but that's what it is. Observation planes, we could take fighters, observation, or um, enhanced secondary targeting. If you get your reload under 30 seconds, this is probably the better option, but fighter is pretty good too. But because I can get mine under 30 seconds with commanders, I'm taking the observation seaplane. Survivability 60,000 health. It is, as you guys can see, you have the 9 15-inch guns of Monarch with. They're not exactly the same. They're the same guns, but they have different stats. So, shell grouping is pretty decent for tier 6. This is a pretty accurate ship at tier 6. Um, and then also, as you guys can see, the HE, it's not as good as Monarchs, but it's pretty decent AP, right? Like it's good AP, but it is short fuse AP. All right. So that being said, you're gonna absolutely ream cruisers with this thing. Battleships, this AP is going to be good, but you're not going to be dev striking battleships all the time with this ship, especially if you're not close up. All right, and you're very unlikely to Citadel battleships as much as other ones. You'll Citadel them, absolutely, but because of the short fuse armor, it'll happen less than you think. And for your secondaries, you have a bunch of them at 5.2. Again, they're secondaries, short secondaries. Not much to talk about. AA defense, clearly not great, as I did get focused by a carrier and could absolutely do nothing by it. Um, Maneuverability, not the world's greatest turning circle for the tier, but not awful either. The rudder is very solid. There's no reason to put the rudder mod on this thing. It's already pretty good. And your concealment is good at 12.4, even though you're a battleship and you're not going to sneak up on a dead moose in open water. It is still pretty good for a battleship, and your smoke firing penalty is 11.3. So if you build into it, I think you could get around 10, but I just don't see that being a viable option. Stats in it. I'm going to actually talk about the games here in a second, but we've done well in it. All right. Clearly, we're averaging 2000, 100 XP. Our gun main and gun accuracy is 47%, which is good. I'm also playing this ship close in. I'm not playing it at 19 kilometers because there will be people that will sit and smoke at range, and that's sorely disappointing. Armor, you can see it's King George, but this thing is absolutely tanky like King George. What makes it super tanky? Obviously, you need 16-inch guns to overmatch, but the big thing here, guys, is the underwater citadel like King George. Um, right? You will see in our match, you can do some really dumb crap in this ship, and you will get away with it. Um, in fact, we'll look at the matches really quick. I've been at tier 7 every match. All right, so I've been the bottom tier every match. First match, damage didn't look good, but the match was over instantly, as you can see. But we had a good score because we helped take out destroyers. All right. Just what you can see, it ended on points instantly. I think this was it was less than 6 minutes. But you can see I was bottom tier. Next match, you guys can see again, not ideal. This is the one that I did die in because the whole team rushed me as my destroyer ran away. I did get damage off. I did what I could, but I got murdered. All right. Um, and murdered by and focused on by the carrier, as you can see. What was the carrier in this? Enterprise. Yeah, Enterprise hurts, by the way. I will say that. Or he can hurt. Yukon, and then in this match, again, bottom tier, but I did really good. And it came down to me shooting the Plymouth through the bow, and I did not get one shell through the bow in 4 salvos. There's no way this guy should have lived, but to be honest, he played really well outside of that. Kudos to him for a good game, but obviously I played very well as well. Took out destroyers, or helped take out 2 of the destroyers in that match. and then the next match, which you are going to see now. As we start the match, it's disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to help people new to the ship or new to the game. This is not meant for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything in the universe. There are multiple ways to play and build this ship, and I am a above average player, not the world's best. I make mistakes. You may see one in this match. You didn't come here for pronunciations. I'm as good as anybody at slaughtering beautiful languages all the time. With that out of the way, you can see we had an AFK destroyer. I didn't have any luck with destroyers today. That's okay, it happens. I'm not really mad about it. I just understand I can't rely on this destroyer for a whole lot. I get spotted. I say that. P-Bag does, to his credit, radar. That destroyer was kind of in a decent position. So we know it's Kagero out here, right? That lightning should know this and go hunt Kagero down instantly. And I'm not ripping on him. I'm just saying if you see a Kagero, you should go hunt it down as a destroyer. It's easy to kill. That being said, I'm not really shooting my guns off yet. I couldn't take a shot at the destroyer, but I probably wouldn't hit him. Because I want to go undetected until I have a good shot. This Lungrum is broadside, and I decide to take the shot. Also with the other destroyer behind the island, both of them, I get a shot free as we get a pretty good salvo on Lungrum. Also here, as we move up, we know torpedoes are probably coming through that gap as they always are. And also we're bottom tier. A lot of tier 7s in this ship. I'm also letting our destroyer know exactly where this destroyer is. All right. I'm trying to help this guy out. We take another shot here at Colorado. And you can see here we hit four of our 9 shells, so not bad, but a couple of them shatter. That's probably the worst salvo you're going to see out of the entire ship the entire time. We know that the destroyer is out in front of us. All right, I'm hoping this guy has the located perk, but I see him dart off to the side, and I'm like, man, unless Kagero is torping from the side, I still think he's out. So you can see it's kind of weird, but you can see me turn this really good rudder. I want to help this guy get rid of the destroyer. I've done it all day in this ship or any battleship. Listen, you can put up 200k damage in a game and still lose because you didn't help get rid of destroyers. That isn't a good game. Basing your games off of damage doesn't mean anything. Clearly, as you can see here, I'm frustrated because I know he has no idea where this destroyer is. I do. I know he's out front of me. And he runs away from a Kagero. It's okay. Not mad. We're not going to shoot our guns off here. Our destroyer left to smoke, so we can wait for these guys to get into a worse position. And sure, like I said, could I show a game with damage, a ton of damage, but that doesn't mean you're actually playing the ship correctly or helping. It means you're shooting at battleships, all right? And that doesn't always help your team. And shooting destroyers does. All right, and people are going to sadly sit at the back line in this and sit and smoke, I think, and I hope not. But we wait. Issy gets himself in a bad position because we've been kind of not detected, and we get 9 of our 9 shells to hit Issy. Also, you've noticed we've taken some shots and not got citadels at battleships, like I talked about with the guns. With short fuse AP, you're going to notice you don't get a lot of citadels. You will on cruisers, but not as many on battleships as you normally would, like an American. Now, instead of finishing off Issy and getting the kill on Issy, as you can clearly see, the destroyer's in the smoke screen, we shoot a destroyer instead of trying to get a kill on an Issy. We hit 5 shells on a destroyer at range and kill him. All right? Sure, we didn't get the kill on Issy on a battleship, and most battleship commanders will take that. But we had way more battle impact taking the shot at Issy, or taking the shot at the destroyer instead, as we got him off the board. Kagero, obviously, basically full health. He's caught now, and you can see it. We go ahead and load a HE. Once we get somebody does help get another shot on him. But we get 2 shells taking a chunk of his health off, obviously. We load HE because he can't get out of our detection in time. We're going to point towards him. You can see clearly where his guns are pointed. He's launched torp. So we're going to dodge to the left. If you watch Destroyer's guns, you can see when they torp. Again, we can see he's torping here. We do get a shot off. And before he gets out of the detection, I know he's torped. But I do want to get a chance to kill this guy. And if I wait for my front guns to reload fully, he might be out of our detection because Kagero has good detection. We eat one torp, and as you can see, we get our back guns off. Almost reloaded on our front guns, but our secondaries kill them. And this whole time, by the way, if you didn't think this ship was tanky, there's been a Colorado, a Lungrum, all shooting at our broadside. And we have taken it like a champ. And it's not like they're 15 kilometers away. Them 16-inch guns of Colorado are very close. And we did not take a citadel. We use our smoke here to get to our heel, and we're just going to chill for a half a second, and then we're going to get a good shot here with our HE, knowing that Lungrum probably just taken a beat him, and we get a double fire that's pretty permanent. And we start moving, and we angle to Colorado, right? Listen, this ship you get away with, like King George and Duke of York, you can get away with a lot. All right, that Citadel being so low in the water, you can do some really dumb stuff. I'm not saying be dumb in broadside, but I'm saying you can do it if you need to, like we did for the Destroyer. And here, Colorado flat broadside, we hit a bunch of shells, but no Citadel, and that's what you're gonna get with these guns. They're accurate, they're good, but you're not gonna be depth striking battleships most of the time with them, right? You have to get pretty lucky. However, on the cruisers, you're going to mess them up with these short fuse AP. And again, we run into the border. I didn't realize it. We take the shot to finish off Lungrum. You can clearly see I'm backing up. But because I'm on the border pointed at it, it's going to take me 5 minutes to get off the border. All right? I didn't like that part. And it does hurt me later on. But anyway, you can see we're every time we're shooting at a battleship, it hurts. Except for... obviously, Georgia's at range, again showcasing why you don't want to play this thing at range. Like, you're going to see here, we're going to take a shot at Georgia, and being that it's short fuse armor, and you can see it, we hit only 2 of our shells. It wasn't the greatest aim shot, but still, we only hit 2 at range. That being said, with this short fuse armor, on American battleships, a lot of times I like to aim up over the belt and like get it to plunging fire to Citadel American battleships. This ship with short fuse AP is just not going to do that. All right, so you do kind of want to aim waterline on American battleships if you get the chance, because you're going to full pen them whether you aim high or low. It's up to you, right? If you're going to Citadel them, it's going to be low because of the short fuse, but that's just me. But Colorado, again, broadside, we're trying to wait. He's broadside, but we've been kind of waiting for our smoke to get us in a better position and get us a little bit of an angle going. I know he's broadside, but it'd be nice at this range with the Destroyer here. We could actually get a chance to use this smoke. Could we have killed Colorado probably earlier? Yes, but I did want to try to use the smoke some to showcase it a little bit. He shoots his guns off, so we go ahead, shoot our guns off. And we know we'll have our smoke back before he's reloaded. Our Destroyer is going to torp him. But like I said, in this match, we're having okay damage, but we got rid of 2 Destroyers and a significant chunks of them Destroyers. Basically all the Kagero, right? And that's bigger than doing some damage to battleships and not helping your team out, right? Like, you can damage battleships all you want, but that don't mean you're going to win. As we go ahead and get a shot on Colorado, we get a little unlucky here with this shot. It happens. Most of the salvos have been really good out of this thing. Once in a great while, you get some British, I call it, I don't want to use the F word, but F word or E. But anyway, once in a while you just get them salvos. It happens actually in every ship, but as you can see here, we get detected again, but we absolutely finish them off here. We don't know how many shells we're going to hit. It's just the first 2 we needed. We go The rest of the match, we're too far out of it, but we killed 4 guys, and actually, if we'd taken that shot on Issy, we could have had 5 kills. So we could have had a Kraken. And listen, guys, I know it has a smoke, all right? But sitting in your dang smoke, not taking attention for your team is not going to help your team. You're a battleship. You're a tanky battleship. You use the smoke when you need to divert attention, but you're a battleship. You need to take some damage, help your team out, and do positive things. And you can see clearly at tier 7, we were top of the leaderboard, bottom tier, helping our team win. And 2600, honestly, at tier 6 is not a bad game anyway, or is a pretty solid XP. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time, folks. Have a good one.